Giving all honor, glory, giving all honor, giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, which is the name of the Heavenly Father. It's not Yahweh, it's Yahweh. Bahashem, in the name of, Bahashem is in the name of. Yahweh Shai is not Jesus, it's Yahweh Shai. Why do Yahweh Shai for your word? Why do Yahweh Shai for your prophecy and your mercy to the children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstones for enduring, laboring in the footsteps of the prophets that they labored in, and helping turning boys into men, right, through these scriptures, through proper guidance. God damn it. Matter of fact, it's a purpose out without scripture. Let me play this while I pull out the scripture.
It'll be a breaking news story, and they will announce that now we're going into a new currency.
When is the reset going to happen? Followed by, what is a reset? And I was thinking maybe we start today by just defining what a reset is. When people ask that question, what are they actually referring to? People wake up, they turn on their news, it's there, it happened. Can you walk me through maybe what that day looks like? Like, you know, I get the announcement. I think our audience understands that fear, because it's a scary thought that could be the reality one day. That's what we're heading towards. What actually would happen to the currency?
As an analyst, I probably get asked that multiple times throughout the week. That is a key question,
Yeah.
right? Because everyone wants to know, when is the reset going to happen? I think what they're really asking, Taylor, is when is it going to be official?
Okay.
When is it going to be apparent? Like, that's when the reset happens. When a government comes out and says, okay, there's going to be a breaking news story. The president, whoever that is at the time, Secretary of Treasury, more than likely the Federal Reserve or the central bank spokesman, will be on TV together, and they will announce that now we're going into a new currency. They might say something like, we're going to revalue, we're going to start over.
The book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 7. Verse 6, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell on the earth. Why? Because the children of Israel are scattered throughout all countries, all nations. All right, so the gospel has to be preached throughout the earth, so the elect, right, the elect men can be sealed with this gospel. Right? Now, Esau Edom is trying to stop that. Canada passed a law basically outlawing the use of biblical scriptures to hurt anybody's feelings. Okay, but what about my feelings? Right, the 250th year anniversary of Babylon the Great, also known as America, right? To where it's like, celebrate for what, man? They're celebrating our oppression. They're celebrating their success over our oppression and enslavement and colonialism, colonizing the whole world. You know, so our people have no idea what's going on. Esau Edom, he understands what's going on. Babylon the Great is in a situation. Right? Babylon the Great is in a situation. Revelation chapter 14, verse 7, saying with the loud, it's verse 6, and I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach unto them that dwell upon the earth, and to every nation and kindred and tongue and people. Right? So the elect men, women, and children out of scattered throughout the whole world are the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See, that's the thing. Esau, Edom, first of all, they try to act like they don't know who their ancestors are or where their ancestors came from, but they are children of the prophets. Right? Esau, Edom is a child of Abraham and Isaac, children of the prophets. It's like right? So they're calling for a reset. The reset will happen. It will happen. Why is the reset going to happen? Because Babylon the Great is falling. They have to do something. They have to have a reset. Now they wanted this was their plan anyway to bring it in, but they have no choice now to bring in the microchip, the mark of the beast, for buying and selling in your brain or in your hand. Revelation. Matter of fact, let me play some more of this video.
We're going to restructure. There's going to be all these different words, but it's going to be a reset. We will be on TV together and they will announce that now, a parent, like that's when the reset happens. When a government comes out and says, okay, there's going to be a breaking news story.
There's the noise, man. There's the noise. It's lacking. I don't understand what's going on. Oh, it's trying to connect to my. It's lacking. Right, I'm on the side.
Different words, but it's going to be a reset. As
A little bit.
Followed by, what is a reset? And I was thinking maybe we start today by just
as an analyst, I probably get asked that multiple times throughout the week.
I get the announcement. I think our audience understands that fear, because it's a scary thought that could be the reality one day. That's what we're heading towards. What actually would happen to the currency?
As an analyst, I probably get asked that multiple times throughout the week. That is a key question,
Yeah.
right? Because everyone wants to know, when is the reset going to happen? I think what they're really asking, Taylor, is when is it going to be official?
Okay.
When is it going to be apparent? Like, that's when the reset happens. When a government comes out and says, okay, there's going to be a breaking news story. The president, whoever that is at the time, Secretary of Treasury, more than likely the Federal Reserve or the central bank spokesman, will be on TV together and they will announce that now we're going into a new currency. They might say something like, we're going to revalue, we're going to start over, we're going to restructure. There's going to be all these different words, but it's going to be a reset. And so I think when people ask, when is the reset going to happen? It's happening now. And there's symptoms to it that we could talk about.
Yeah.
But when someone says, when is the reset going to happen? I think what they're asking,
It's happening now. Right? It's happening now. Revelation chapter 14, verse 7. It's the angel with the everlasting gospel, right? The prophecies, the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Verse 7, saying with a loud voice, fear God. So the angel said, fear God. And give glory to him. So the angel said, fear God and give him his glory. Right? You want to, if somebody makes some good food, you give them praise and glory. Right? If you at the liquor store and the one cashier gets everybody out fast, the other cashier talking every goddamn body, flirting with every goddamn body, you give glory to one cashier for bringing up your food and getting you out the store fast, and you don't give the glory to the other cashier. Scorn, scoff, right? He gets no glory. All right, so the Heavenly Father is to be feared and needs to have glory. Revelation chapter 14, verse 7, saying with a loud voice, fear God and give glory to him. For the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of the waters. Right, so the heaven, matter of fact, Yahweh Shah made all of that under the order of, under the direction of his father, under the blueprint of the Heavenly Father. But at the same time, verse 7, for the hour of his judgment is come. All right, so you ask a white dude who's in the finance and marketing and all that, he'll say that the time is coming. We're coming to that time. Right? He'll say we're coming to that time. He said, well, it's already happening. The transition is already taking place. All right, so the hour is near. The hour is upon us. We're coming to that hour. Right? Verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Now it's 18 biblical nations, so it doesn't mean he made all 132,000 countries and territories and all these marks. Because you got people living in the jungles and in the Amazon jungle. They didn't drink of the wine of the wrath of Babylon the Great. They don't want nothing to do with Babylon the Great. Right? They want to stay in the Amazon forest and stay the hell away from people. They know they have thousands of years of history, hundreds of years of history of what these Edomites just did around the world for the past hundreds of years. Thousands of years of history fighting within themselves, all right, within their own so-called nations. And we coming to a time where it's going to be two armed security officers at all times. Something, I don't know what the hell going on. Anyway, Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image. Right? One angel said, fear the Lord, worship him. Fear God, worship him. Another angel followed, saying with a loud, and the other angel said, the hour is come. The third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. So if anyone receives this etching or scratching in their hand or in their forehead to buy, sell, or trade, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah is going to destroy them. All right, verse 10, Revelation 14 and 10. The same what? The same that received the mark, worship the image, received the mark in his hand or in his forehead, worship the beast, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So the UFOs are going to be watching, right? And they're going to be shooting laser beams as well, wapples, zappos. It speaks to the scripture, speaks out of his, oh man, second Ezra speaks out of his breath, flame of it's not good.
Is when is it going to be apparent to me, and when is that official statement going to come out?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
That totally makes sense, because I think a lot of people understand, they can feel what's going on, and not even just feel, right? They look at their bank account, the value of the dollar. We'll talk about purchasing power, more things today too, I'm sure. But you mentioned symptoms leading up to that kind of official reset. I obviously talk about a lot of different things that I'm seeing, but I'm curious from your expertise, when you talk about symptoms, what are those?
So the symptoms that I saw happening in Mexico, and I've also studied other resets, right? Mexico isn't the only country. You've had, Venezuela, you've had Cuba, you've had North Korea, you've had Russia, you've had Zimbabwe, all these other countries. And it's interesting that when you look into it, the symptoms before are very similar. Mm-hmm. So there's a couple things that.
So second Ezra chapter 13, verse 10. I'm trying to go back. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. Right? Go up one verse, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, talking about when they try to there was a war in heaven, right? Michael and his angels fought the devil and his angels. Right? When Esau Edom is the devil. The devil means, the word devil means accuser, or means slanderer, accuser. So Esau is a deceiver. 2nd Ezra chapter 13 verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth from the so-called spaceships, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempest. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived. They got zapped, whappo-zapped, whappo-zappo. And fell with violence. What? Yeah, the power of the Lord fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.